tank. Here's that big guy right there. So you can see some of those colors already starting to pop back through. Alrighty, what's up YouTube people? So on my last video we talked about setting up that 90-gallon tank. Well, today we got the shipment in. So let's unbox these guys here so you can see what we got and kind of go from there. So something again a little bit different. Got here a little bit later than I was hoping. It's now about, there's not even a clock in here. I don't know what I'm looking around for. It's about 2 o'clock or so. I don't know what FedEx's issue was. Typically this kind of stuff is here by like 10:30, but it's okay. They're fish. They're not reptiles, so they can actually typically last a little bit longer in their bags. But I'm not too terribly worried. Weather's not too bad. Shipping box, of course, is your normal shipping box. Big old FedEx box. Got the styrofoam insulator in it. So that is all good. Always have a handy dandy temp gun. Check out our temperatures of everything inside. Now we're about 81, 82 degrees inside of the box. Not great, not terrible. That's perfectly fine though for them. So I've got, let's move the camera over here and show y'all what's going down. So I've got three packs in here. So let's get these guys up and out of the box. Hello there. And then let's get them acclimated. So first fish, he is alive. Looks good. Probably not gonna be able to see too terribly well through that bag, but any guesses? If you have a guess on what that fish is from what you can see through that bag, put that comment right down below. And then in here, you all know that I am a giant pleco fan, so I had to, of course, get a couple plecos here, and these are some freaking awesome plecos, guys. So I'll get these opened again here in a minute. These came from from Jason over at Jason's Plecos and Cichlids LLC, where I got the big blue eye Panake from. He had one of these plecos that I had my eye on as well, and it just so happened he had one of these other fish that I really wanted too. So it kind of worked out great. So let me go ahead and get these bags at least open so I can start floating them, because they're at about 82 degrees, tank water 78, 79, so we want to acclimate them. So let me get that going here real quick. That was a pain. So Jason packed his stuff really well. Everything was they were in like one of these big bags, and then everything was basically double bagged except for the actual fish, which had like freaking 4 bags. Which, I mean, that's great. That means everything's nice and secure. Chances of leaks actually affecting things are, very slim. This is kind of trippy. I can see my reflection of the recording in the fish tank. Ooh. Anyway, so I got everybody floating. So did you guess it was a flower horn? If you did, congratulations. If you didn't, well, should have guessed better. But so flower horns, they're pretty cool. Honestly, they're not something that I had much of an interest in until here recently. I started seeing them pop up a lot more, like on YouTube and whatnot. I was like, you know what, they're really cool looking. And then just hearing about how they're supposed to have such big personalities to them, I was like, you know what? Why not? I'll have a little buddy back here in my office room when I'm working, editing the videos, doing whatever, because I do work from home as well. So got a flower horn. He's a super red dragon by Thai Silk Cross. I know those are 2 different variants of flower horns. If you didn't already know, flower horns are already, they're a hybridized cichlid, basically, so they're not found anywhere in nature. They are typically a highly aggressive fish, so typically they're supposed to be the only fish in the tank. I know some people have had success having others with them. I'm not planning on doing anything like that. The only thing I plan on having with them are these couple plecos here. So to go into the plecos, so right here we have an L330, which is a watermelon royal pleco. And this dude's a pretty good size. He is, I would say, snout to tip of the tail, maybe a hair bigger than the flower horn, who is ready to get out. So yeah, so I definitely wanted to get a bigger one because obviously the bigger ones, less chance that they're going to get picked on by the flower horn, number one. But number two, plecos, again, they're armored catfish. The odds of there being any issues at all kind of be pretty slim. But then this guy right here is an LO25, which is a scarlet cactus pleco. And these guys are awesome. I mean, they get huge. I mean, the Royals get big. This isn't anywhere close to potentially full grown, but these guys will get every bit just as big. They'll get 12, 14, 16 inches, and they're gorgeous. It's kind of hard to pick up all of his pattern there, but he's about a 4-incher or so. But the thing with that guy and that species, or that species, that locality, they're spiny, so they're even more armored than your typical pleco. So that's why I decided to go with him here to join the flower horn. So I'm going to let these guys float. So when you get new freshwater fish, we're not talking saltwater stuff. When you get new freshwater fish, you want to float them in their bags inside the tank, just like I'm doing here with my nice little hand right here. You want to float them typically for really about 10 to 15 minutes, depending on the difference in the water temperature. With these guys, since they were about 81, 82, my tank is, this usually reads about a degree low. So probably about 79-ish or so. It's only going to take a few minutes for them to acclimate, to get their water correct. So yeah, just going to let them finish floating here for a few minutes, and then we'll show getting them out. Then I gotta come up with a name for this guy too. I can't wait to get him out and have him be not stressed, because the pictures from the website on this guy, he was just gorgeous. He just had a bunch of light blues, some nice colors to him. So we'll get them out here in just a few minutes and show y'all that. Alrighty, so these guys have been floating now for, the right amount of time. Sorry, I'm all discombobulated here. I'm right here. So let's show y'all how to get them in. The proper way to do it would be with a net, and to take the bag, dump the water over a bucket, and catch the fish out with a net. But I'm special, and honestly, I don't have a net, even though that's a pretty normal fish keeping tool to have. Because really, you don't want to get all of that old dirty ammonia poopy water that they've got in there into the tank. But what I'm going to do is just dump out the majority of the water here into the bucket, and if a little bit of water gets into the tank, it's not a big deal. For the plecos, it's pretty easy because you can actually just kind of take them out by hand. The flower horn is going to be a little bit different. But yeah, let's go ahead and start here with the plecos. So we're going to just start here with the Royal, because he's kind of right in front of me. Oh boy, let's not get water everywhere, Gary. Yeah, I'm super, super excited to finally get these guys here and into their cage. Don't mind me struggling here with these rubber bands, because they're just not my friends, and I know I could just cut the bag and rip it open and yada 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 yada, and I'm about to do that because, you know what, I'm losing my patience on this dang thing. So I'll just pop this open here real quick. And yeah, so when you go to take plecos out, you got to be careful, because obviously they've got, spiny bits on them that can hurt a good bit, but just be careful, and it's pretty easy. And here we go. Here's this guy. Yeah, just got to be super careful with him. But look at that dude right there. Tell me that is not a cool fish. All this stuff here, that's all going to heal over time, especially here on his tail. Of course, it's a wild-caught animal, as a lot of plecos are. So being wild caught, they have their scars and whatnot that they might have had from the wild, but a lot of times the darn dog hair in my mouth somehow. There's the stress of travel too can cause stuff like that to happen. Even though I think Jason's had him for a few months or a couple months. But still, that kind of stuff can take a little while to heal up. So, not a problemo at all. So he's in there. Now let's get my scarlet. I really need to get a towel in here to put down on the carpet, because, well, that's just going to make my life a whole lot easier, ladies and gentlemen. Especially because I'm on carpet. I'm not on hardwoods or a cement floor. Yeah, so let's go in here now. We're going to do the same Same thing here with the scarlet, but because it's a little bit smaller, got to be a tad bit more careful, but still nothing too crazy. Come here, you little booger. Not wanting to come out. Oh gosh. I know y'all saw that. But he landed right back in the water. Oh my goodness, what a little goober butt. Hey, come here, buddy. You can see I am a clear professional. But all right, we're gonna try to be a little more careful with this guy. See, here's this guy. You can see those really cool markings on him. Really, really cool fish, but he is being a little jumpy. So let's just get him right into the water. And there he goes on his way. All is right with the world. Now the super fun one. Let's get this big boy out. Alright, so with him, we're going to do things a little bit differently. Like I said, we're going to pour a majority of the water into the bucket here. And then we're going to get him, we're going to pour him into the tank. Because again, not trying to put all of this dirty water into the aquarium. So I'm trying to get a nice big hole here so that way he'll be able to get out when I go to pour. Just do this carefully because I don't want him coming out. Okay. Come on, buddy. Oh, you kind of got stuck there. There you go, pal. All right, so now that they're in, just real quick, what I'm going to do is just put a little bit of Seachem Prime in, which Seachem Prime is, it's a dechlorinator, and it's also really good for binding to ammonia and nitrates and detoxifying them, which I'm not worried about that since this is a brand new tank and it needs to be cycled and all that still. Which leads me to another point here before I start showing you everything. This is what I'm doing is called a fish in cycle, and before everyone just starts jumping down my freaking throat on it, times have changed. It's not 30 years ago anymore. So there are things that you can do now to make it safe for fish, because right away, guess what? There's no ammonia, there's no nothing harmful in this aquarium to them right now. It's once the ammonia starts to be produced, that's when things can start to get trickier. Or not trickier, but that's when things can start to potentially get more dangerous for them. But, so there are different things you can do. You do daily doses of Seachem Prime or Seachem Safe. I have Safe as well. And again, you can, it says on here, you can go up to 5 times the recommended dosage. So for this, 1 capful is 50 gallons, 90-gallon tank, 3 to 4 capfuls of this is good. And again, so what that's going to do on the dailies while the tank is cycling, that's going to detoxify all of the ammonia and the nitrites that are there. So that makes it safe for the fish while it cycles. Along with that, you want to do some daily doses of Seachem Stability, which is basically seeded live bacteria that you add in. It says every day for 7 days, which that just helps to kind of kickstart things. Now, the fish is swimming. Now, I'm not using Stability today. What I'm using is Fritz Zyme 7. Fritz is just another company that makes chemicals. Fritz Zyme 7 is just another one that helps to seed and kickstart. So you put this entire bottle in. This particular bottle treats up to 80 gallons. So it's a little bit light for a tank this size, but it's going to do its job perfectly fine. So we're going to just get all this added in. Little known fact, if you swirl it, that helps things to get in a little bit faster. And the powder that I put in a minute ago, if y'all were paying attention to that. So my pH here, the water's a little bit soft. It usually comes in the low 6s. Just this Fritz pH neutralizer. You follow the instructions on it to dose it. And basically it helps to bring the pH up to 7, which is neutral. Whether you're above or below, it's going to help bring it to that level. So just to kind of help keep things in check. I did all of this stuff already when I got the water into the tank. But, of course, just doing this all again, just real quick, now that everybody is in, just to ensure safety. That is Oh, I know what that is. We're all good there. But yeah, so let's take a look here at the new guys through my nice dirty glass. So here is that L330 watermelon pleco. He's already made his way across the tank. Here's that big guy right there. So you can see some of those colors already starting to pop back through. Those nice blues. His suit is going to be gorgeous. And then that little hump on the top of his head as he settles in with me. Hopefully he'll start to grow more as well as I go and I feed him and do all that stuff. And then the scarlet pleco took off somewhere here into the driftwood areas, and not really sure where it went, but that's not a big deal. It's back there just doing what it wants to do to be comfortable. But yeah, guys, so here are the the new fish. He's not even chasing you, broski. And that is why they are called sucker mouse. Look at that. You can see all those gnarly little teeth in there. They're such interesting fish. And what I love too, if you notice, his belly is not sunken in. You can see it actually looks uniform all the way down. So that shows a very nice, healthy pleco. Really any fish in general, but with plecos, you know, sunken belly is no bueno. Or even a bloated belly is no bueno, especially if they haven't eaten. His stomach looks perfect, because I know Jason takes care of all of his fish, so I had no worries at all there. You can see he looks perfectly fine as well. No sunken belly on him, being nice and active. So yeah, guys, so I hope y'all enjoy that, and you know, got name suggestions for this guy. I kind of want something funny that's gonna fit him. So drop some name suggestions down below, and we'll see if we can, everyone here can come to a consensus. So yeah, awesome. That's that, and then hopefully I'll have the screws for that FX4 hopefully later today in the mail, so I can get that thing plugged in and running as well. But yeah, thanks for checking it out with me, guys, and enjoy the enjoyment.